Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be doing a very quick evaluation for Final Fantasy VII Remake, because all these units I actually did already a review for them, and I will be posting those links below. I will say that not too much has changed, but I will say maybe a little bit on the ratings might have changed, and I'll go through each one of them just kind of quickly. But yeah, I wanted to get this out right before at least Wednesday, before the poll day for a lot of people for Cloud and Tifa. But yeah, maybe this might help you decide more, like if you really want to build them really hard. I know a lot of people probably will because it's Final Fantasy VII, but yeah, maybe this will help you kind of push you to the point where you maybe want to, or you won't invest too much. Without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, because Cloud's coming out same time as Tifa, but I decided to do him first. His rating did go up from my video. My video gave him a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. If we round that down to like the lower ratings to crunch numbers, I do firmly believe he is a 4.5 out of 5 unit, meaning I would recommend for sure pulling him if you want it for your account for just a benefit to your account. Not just like, oh, I love Cloud, I want to pull him, but like if you want a strong unit, I do firmly believe he is worth pulling for sure. Reason why? Let's go through all his positives. I will not be talking about any negatives because this is just supposed to be a very quick evaluation, and it's not going to go through all his abilities and stuff, etc. Those are in the videos that will be in the description box below. First things first, he has 60% base defense penetration. Not only can he gain up to 70% or even 100%, he has different attack types, and it says there 3 different attack types, and he has a slash and parry as well. That means if he hits a different attack type resistance on you and you only have defense and you don't have a good attack type resistance, you will get literally like shredded by him. He will literally do a lot of damage because he also has an attack that doesn't even have an attack type that's an AoE, like a cone, like bursting light. That means even if you have defense, it does not matter because he has insane defense penetration. This means that you either have to have lightning resistance or elemental advantage or AoE resistance. Outside of that, he will be doing insane hard to mitigate damage to you, even despite him having like mostly slash. Like he just has that good of a kit because of his attack types. From here, he also has AoE resistance, and he actually has a good spread of resistances overall. Like for physical in general, he has very good. He has also base 10% AoE resistance, I believe, which is really strong. And he has negative 10 to magic, but because it's quite easy for him to get 0%, and then you can't get any lower unless they have an imperil, which no one really has. They only have magic attack penetration right now. And I say no one right now because Killfae does, but no one uses her. And this is not summer Killfae, it's regular Killfae. So yeah, just keep that in mind. From here, he has a very good combination of vision cards for survivability and damage. Not only does the Scorpion vision card give him more damage and a little bit more AoE resistance, he also gets a lot of damage from it. And from here, if you can see from the Lightning Wombo combo, if you did have Charlotte and or someone who can use the Aigaon vision card, even Mont can use it if you want more damage for Cloud, he gains a lot more survivability because the Aigaon vision card for Lightning Elemental Mono benefits also get more HP, so Cloud can literally have like almost 7k HP with that setup, and he still gains all his damage, so just keep that in mind. From here, he also has 100% hit abilities that hit decently strong. He has strong AoEs. They're not like low damage or anything. They actually are very like good damage in general. And he has very strong single target abilities as well, like even a 240% one, and he will be doing a lot of damage. Obviously, if you have a lot of slash resistance, he won't be able to deal as much, and then it's going to be reliant on what people use his sub job as. If he does the ranger sub job, he can spam barrage if he has the AP for it, so that's missile attack, and remember, his defense penetration very high. If you don't have missile resistance, he's going to be dealing good damage. Outside of that, he also has as I said before, desert non-typeless. I'll say typeless, sorry, why do I say non-attributed? It's typeless. So it is lightning damage, but it's typeless. So it's not slash, it's not magic, it's not strike, it's just typeless. So that is very hard to mitigate as well. Also, he has a barrier break on his limit break, meaning even if they have a barrier and they run up, if Cloud uses his limit break, his limit break on them, it will break it and deal significant amount of damage. So that's pretty nice to have. From here, he's actually able to have 4 movement for really like good flexibility for getting out his attacks. And it has an attack percent passive on it if you want it for mobility. So he has that flexibility between switching between 3 and 4 move. And yeah, he also has such a good like kit in general, because he also has 100% hit to hit evasion units, and he has good strong AoE and single target. So overall as a unit, I do firmly believe he's a 4.5 out of 5, and he can kind of abuse the AoE resistance build that he can gain literally like 50% AoE resistance to all AoE attacks. So that's pretty insane. So before we talk about his other stuff, let's go to the left. So an AoE mitigation magic barrier example build. So like maybe you don't want him really to build up magic resistance, you just want him to get AoE resistance and maybe rely on a magic barrier. From here, the goal of this team, Aerith is going to get her magic barrier off on Cloud and King Mont. That is the ideal situation. I'm not going to say it's going to work every time, but if she did, imagine this build with Cloud doing damage. Maybe King Mont even gets his Claws of the Young Lion out so that they all get slash imperiled. And Aerith gets a magic barrier out on the team. So not only do you have literally so much AoE resistance already, and you can get a little bit more with Brigadine, the armor on him, and you have this setup, they have so much survivability just in all terms general. However, keep in mind, if it is lanes or like 1v1s or like there's a lot of only single attack units, they will fall quite quickly. So that is something to think about. These are mostly just example team setups. Now for a lightning wombo combo, until we get like a new lightning mage, Skull, that can kind of like keep up right now for EX. I put Yuna here mostly just to help sustain for Cloud and Charlotte, who will be not only having a lot of damage, but they also have a lot of survivability, because not only is Yuna keeping them up and she has the agility vision card to get faster turn order, Charlotte and Cloud will have a lot more HP because they get basically like a... If anyone used light units, it's like Solidus. You get the 25% HP for lightning units in your team. So that's why the Scorpion and Guardian Vision card combo is really strong for these two, because they also get accuracy, get slash attack up. It's just going to be very nice. For Espers, I do firmly believe one of his best Espers will be the Scorpion, so you should definitely pick that up. And it's an Esper, so I firmly believe you should pick that up. The Scorpion, going to be very good, lightning attack, all that. For slash and magic resistance, we have Fenrir and Igai on here. Igai is not 3-star yet, not capable, but he will. I'm not sure actually when, because I know JP still doesn't have it either. But Fenrir will be getting his tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So Fenrir will be good into magic matchups at least, because you get up to either 15 or 20% magic attack resistance and still have a good amount of damage from slash. From here we have Odin, who can either switch between, obviously he has the human killer, but he could do either missile or slash resistance if you want as well. So that's there. Now for matchups and units to watch for, obviously you do not want to be fighting Earth units, and these are the possible Earth units that we will be expecting, especially even in the future for matchups. So obviously Moraga is going to be there. I will say though, as much as Moraga is a good matchup in the Cloud, Moraga kind of like preys on that people don't have a lot of defense penetration, and guess who has really high defense penetration? Cloud. I'm not going to say Cloud will win the matchup, but Cloud will do like a decent amount of damage onto him. Outside of that, UR Zazan, we obviously know Zazan the Unkillable is really going to be strong, especially like even into Cloud. But keep in mind, if Zazan's not hitting Cloud, Cloud is going to be hitting him with the 100% hit abilities because it's AoE. Keep that in mind. From here, we're obviously going to have Noctis and Oberon. I'm not going to go too much into detail on them because we won't have them for a while, but they are both very strong Earth units as well. So yeah, overall, I do believe Cloud is a 4.5 out of 5, and I highly recommend pulling him if you want a unit that's good for your account and just flexibility pretty much. And here we are for Tifa's evaluation, and yeah, her rating. From the video I did say she's kind of almost similar to Cloud, but I will firmly say she is a 4 out of 5 unit. I'm not going to say she is a 4.5 compared to like Cloud and some other units, but I do believe she still is a very strong unit. And she's free on pickup, so you don't have to like use Vizier to pull for her, you just have to use it for her shards. So I do believe she's actually still a pretty good unit. So let's go why she's a 4 out of 5 unit. So as a base amount, she gets 15% defense penetration. It's not really that much. However, she does have an ability that can give her up to 50% more. So that means she can get to 65% if the ability is active. So keep that in mind. This is reliant that she has the buff on for that much defense penetration. She does have 3 attack types, and it's very hard to mitigate her strike damage in general. So yeah, keep that in mind. She's gonna have strike. She also has the non-typeless from Ninja specifically, even though it won't. Not many people are gonna be using Ninja sub job, I'll just be honest. And then if you do happen to have her use her Paladin sub job for like the Blade Bash and like Taunting Blade, she does have Slash. So technically, yes, she has 3 attack types. She can also choose between Guts and Saintly Wall on her subs. On her Monk sub-job, it does have Immortal Spirit on it, and for her Paladin sub-job, she does have Saintly Wall on it, so it's really up to you on what you want to do. Now, she actually has a very good combination of vision cards for evasion and damage, especially depending on who's on your team. It could definitely like change the setup. I will say that the 2B and Tifa setup is one of the best in the game, but just keep in mind it's not perfect though, and I say perfect because it has to kind of cover a lot of everything if possible. And I say it's not perfect because there is not really too many cards that are going to be perfect setup. But that's why I said she has one of the just one of the best combinations in general. And I don't want to go with like absolutes, so that's why I said one of the best. Now, she has very, very strong single target abilities, and she has alright AoE. And I say alright because she does have, I don't know if it's the Dolphin Kick, but she does have an AoE that doesn't have too long of a reach in terms of the AoE reach. They have to be kind of like right next to each other if you want to hit multiple units. However, she does have Taunting Blade, which is reliant on her sub job, so keep that in mind. Most of what she's going to be doing is doing really strong single target attacks. Now, on her limit break, she also has a 2-turn stun if it lands. It's very, very good because that's literally 2 turns of like CC or like crowd control, so it's very nice to have. She also has a barrier break in her kit. It's not on her limit break, so just careful on the wording. Her barrier break is separate from her limit break. Just keep that in mind. Also, she's able to have 4 move, 3 jump with a Shikuchi passive. Like, so she could be insanely mobile if you really wanted her. Like, she could be like a pseudo Dragoon if you have like Shikuchi. She just has so much mobility there. Also, I didn't write down specifically, but she can go evasion, and I didn't write specifically evasion because she's not at the same tier of evasion compared to like 2B and Unkillable Zazan in terms of just how much evasion possible they can have at max situations. And the reason why is that she does not have as many evasion nodes compared to them. However, she still has very high evasion, so she is very capable of evading. Now, before we talk about everything else, let's go look at the team comps. So the first one, I was like, how can I make a team comp that's not going to be including like Dwayne and Helena? And I didn't say this on the Cloud portion either, because everyone knows that if you're going to play super sweaty competitive, everyone's just going to go like Dwayne, Helena, and or like Dwayne / King Mont, Helena, and then Cloud or like Tifa or anyone +1. And I really want to avoid that because no offense, it's not really creative, and it's just like, it's not really too fun in my opinion. Obviously, if you're trying to win, especially for Guild Wars, you should be doing it, but for this example, I'm trying to go not touching dark units right now. So yeah, this is why I made this team comp. So for this specifically, Tifa, King Mont, and Varouche, who is not out yet. He is a Magic Wind Swordsman that will be coming out later. This team comp is going to be focusing around not only damage, but also having a good amount of slash and missile resistance. From here, the Tetra card is going to be the most damage because it's going to be doing wind attack up, and it's a physical vision card, so it will give Tifa a good amount of damage. The downtime vision card actually gives a little bit of HP to the team, ice resistance, and then most importantly, the 20% slash resistance overall. Also, to the self holder, it does give AoE resistance specifically to King Mont. I will say the HP bonus here is not going to be really used because we have the Mobius vision card, which is going to give like the Solidus effect or Aigain effect of the 25% more HP for wind units, which is going to be very nice for Tifa and Varouche. Additionally, it's a magic vision card, and so it's going to be very good for Varouche, as well as the missile resistance, 20% to wind units. So this is stacking on the 20% wind for wind units, 20% slash and missile. So it's going to be kind of like a tankier-ish build while still trying to maintain as much damage from 2 wind units. Now, a lot of people are going to know this, the Evasion Galore squad. Honestly, you could replace kind of anyone with Halloween Leela until she gets her EX, but Tifa and 2B does have a super strong evasion composition where they can just use the 2 vision cards that are kind of meant for them, like Tifa's Tower vision card on her, and then 2B's own 2B vision card on her, like the near vision card on her, and they will be extremely evasive. And this covers up literally the evasion slot and the luck slot, so this is very strong. From here, basically a 3rd vision card can be agility or really any flex that you want to try and cover their weaknesses, but yeah, this is an example of the Evasion Galore squad. For Espers, if you're not going to be using Tetra on 2B, it's going to be Tifa's best Esper in terms of evasion and damage balance. Tetra Esper is unchallenged in the amount of evasion nodes, however it also retains a good amount of wind damage because of 25 wind attack up. From here, we do have Odin, who has just really good damage overall and like a little bit of evasion balance, but also has slash and missile resistance if you want to like go out to doors. From here though, I would say Marlboro, the Esper, is actually really insanely good, not only for strike damage, but also it has evasion and a little bit evasion, and then a little bit of a magic attack resistance. So yeah, that's an Esper to think about. We also have another Wind Esper that we don't know what's going to happen when they get 3-star because a 3-star awakening, because even JP does not have it yet, but Chocobo might be a contender in the future. It does have slash resistance and attack up nodes, but right now it does not have any wind attack that we can really make use of for now. Now, for matchups and units you want to watch for. As much as Auron is actually weak to strike type damage, Auron still has 100% hit abilities and he's really strong. So you have to kind of watch out if you're a wind unit against him. Obviously Auron has his weaknesses, but against wind he has a very good matchup, especially when they're evasion and he has 100% hit abilities. From here, if Barret does hit them, and I say if because he actually does not have 100% hit abilities, it's kind of sad. If he does hit them and he has guts removal, if he hits Tifa with that, and Tifa like is not prepared for it, she will instantly die because she does not have the survivability against that move, because it also strips her immortal spirit slash guts. From here, obviously Sweetheart Celia is going to be one of the best matchups into them, because not only is she magic but also like decently physically kind of tanky with chi barrier if she uses her barrier. Yeah, she has 100% hit ability. She's going to be rapid firing out detonation blast on them. And lastly, we have Aranea. We don't know too much about her. We only know what she can do from the Japan side of things. But if she does come out, she is a strong light. What I say light? She's a strong ice unit that also has 100% hit abilities, and she has high defense. Like just in general, well, not like high, but she has a good amount of defense, which is good into physical attack matchups with both main evasion units are attacking at your defense. So yeah, that is something to consider in terms of matchup. Overall, I do think Tifa is still very strong, but she's a 4 out of 5 unit because she is kind of reliant on her abilities. If you use her ability for defense penetration, she's going to be lacking on AP later on. If you only have one turn of buffs, then you have to choose between that defense penetration ability or her like immortal spirit guts or like saintly wall. So yeah, she kind of needs at least 2 to 3 turns to get fully out of her kit, like just make full use out of her. And if she gets dispelled, then her defense penetration is also kind of gone. You're gonna be stuck with only 15%. Overall, that's why she is a 4 out of 5. And this is Aerith's evaluation. I did put her at a 4 out of 5 rating for here, up to date as of today, which is August. We're in the month of August. I actually forgot the date, but yeah, I do believe she's a 4 out of 5 unit. I did rate her a little bit below before. However, I do think she actually has a very viable kit, and that's why I do believe she's a strong unit. I'm not going to say she's a must pull, however, because that's 4.5 or higher, but yeah, here she is at 4 out of 5. I don't think you'll regret pulling her. So first off, she does have a base 40% spirit penetration on a passive if you do want her DPS. You don't even have to use it if you don't want her as DPS. That's the good part. She does have 2 attack types with good damage modifiers. She does have Water Go Blade on her Rune Knight subjob for the 200% damage. It is short range, however, but it is available to her, as well as just having a decent amount of damage on her own abilities. It's not going to be as high as Helena's, obviously, but she does have it available. She's also flexible and capable of switching between DPS, utility, and healer. It really depends on what you have her subjob for, and or if you just want her to focus on healing as well. And what I mean by that is that she's not half-assed on her flexibility, and they're all viable. And what I mean by that is that, for example, Lemure on her White Mage subjob, she does not have Holy, she does not have Full Life, she does not have Re-Raise in terms of that. For Aerith's side of Time Mage subjob, she does have Haste, she does have Quicken. I will say though, however, she does not have like Haste Gel or any like of that crazy stuff. But yeah, she does have Haste and Quicken for that situation. That's what I mean by that. She's not half-assed on her flexibility. She has everything on her to be viable, pretty much. Outside of that, she does have a magic AoE barrier and a re-raise on her main job, which is very, very nice, because if the map and AI allows, if she is able to put a magic AoE barrier on her teammates before they head out, this is very, very good into all magic damage setups. Like, it's just going to be very nice to have. Re-raise is also very nice too, just for setup. Her Limit Break is one of the largest heals in the game, kind of like Ayaka. It is also on demand, that she can just heal at a whim. Like, if her Limit Break is up and then her teammates are low, she's going to snap her fingers and heal them like a very good amount. Now let's look at the left side. This is a single target AoE resistance with Oberon as a carry, just for example, because this is using a setup where Aerith is being support pretty much. So she's holding the AoE resistance vision card, and then all the other vision cards are going to be powering up Oberon. And his own vision card, that is the Deer Esper, which we'll be getting out later, also increases single target resistance for him, for Earth units. So he's able to stack up his single target resistance and AoE resistance. He also innately has single target resistance on his master ability, so he's gonna have literally like 30% single target resistance and 20% AoE resistance just in general. So he's gonna be very hard to kill in that situation. And if Aerith gives him a magic barrier, like he's so hard to kill. Like, that's all I have to say. Unless you're using like a hard counter unit or like his weaknesses, which I would have to like evaluate later, it's very going to be hard to kill him. It's going to be like Agrius before we had EX. Like, if you did not have like a very good unit against her, you were probably struggling very hard to kill her. Outside of that, however, we do have the swimming party, and here we have Summer El Sorel with the I forgot which vision card it was called, like Fates Intertwine or something. I forgot. I'm terribly sorry for the wrong name, but that vision card is very good for her. It also increases the magic attack damage for the party. Also, we have Tidus here with his own Sticky Dane, which is also increased water slash up, who Aerith can actually make use of. And then Aerith is holding the Siren vision card for the 35 water attack up. Just in terms of general, like because El Sorel and Tidus are very physically tanky if they use their barriers, Aerith can give them the magic AoE barrier. However, just keep in mind, because a lot of people actually don't know, you cannot double stack barriers. You can only have one at the same time, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll have to correct myself, etc. But I do believe that is the case. So you cannot double stack barriers. It will take over one or the other in this situation. But yeah, that is the swimming party where Aerith could potentially do an insane amount of damage, but she can literally use those attack types modifications. Now for Espers. Until Siren gets her 3-star Esper, obviously, it's not going to be used too much. Especially, I mean, once it does come out, it is going to be used mostly for slash resistance. However, if you do want her to survive lightning, lightning elemental attacks, because she's actually quite squishy, which is another reason why she's not getting a higher rating on her unit overall, because of her stats, etc., all that, like her shortcomings. I'm not going to go too much into negatives. But yeah, Ochu is actually a very good Esper if you want to get a little bit of that lightning resistance up. Outside of that, Bahamut's going to be good just in general, not only for damage, but stats as well as just flexibility. And then Aigaon, once Aigaon also gets his 3-star, he's actually has a good amount of magic stat as well. He's actually like a hybrid, like good unit. He also has magic resistance as well as pierce resistance for now. We don't know what he's going to get for his 3-star awakening, but he does have that available to him. In that regard, for matchups and units to watch for, you do not want to be facing Clouds. I just have to say that. Straight up, you do not want her getting hit by Cloud. I did some damage testing, and even if she uses a defense bracer, a Cloud with the Scorpion Vision card does not need anything else. Scorpion Vision card as well as the Buster Sword. A barrage from him, AoE hit, one-shots her. Even if she gets, a defense bracer. She literally has to stack up the Ochu Esper, the defense bracer, and the AoE Vision card to survive that damage from Cloud. Outside of that, she'll be doing, Aerith will be doing virtually 0 damage to, Charlotte. And then Frederica also has a very strong barrage, just like Cloud, which can do high damage. And then we do have 9S, who a lot of people don't like, they kind of undermine a lot of units, but I do believe 9S is still pretty good. Maybe not so much right now, especially because of Helena and just dark units in general, but you can make good use of him if used properly, and he is a lightning unit that you should be worrying about until we get the maybe imaginary god tier Orlando EX, which we'll have to just wait until he comes out. But yeah, for now, I do believe Aerith is a 4 out of 5 unit, and I will say personally I will be pulling her mostly because I want to make use of that magic AoE barrier if I'm able to on smaller like guild or arena or live PvP maps, just in general. Here we are at Barret's evaluation, and his rating up to date, which is only going to be a 3 out of 5. I actually gave him a lower rating than I did in the long deep analysis because I just don't agree with what Gumi has done to him as a unit. I think he's a great character in the game and all that, but in terms of account, he might even be a 2.5 out of 5. I don't know, but I can't give him higher than a 3 out of 5 from what he is able to do right now. just in terms of like meta matchups and all that in general. So he has a base of 15% defense penetration, and he's capable of 20 base defense for himself with the passive. He also has a defense down ability, so he doesn't need to worry too much for defense penetration. However, I will say 15% is not a lot. He does have 2 attack types, which is going to be missile and strike. He has very strong single target abilities, but he has a very poor choice of AoE abilities because they are like point blank melee range, and he does not have mobility options to get those better, like those abilities out properly. So yeah, it's going to be very fishy, like trying to get those to work. He has actually a very good combination of vision cards for survivability and damage because he is ice type, and guts removal, he does have it on with multiple other debuffs as well on his main job. I will say the guts removal is not a 100% hit ability, and it's like a point blank range ability, so keep that in mind. He has no barrier break, but he does have a multi 3-hit ability to kind of break physical barriers, so that's nice at least. Also, he's able to actually have a hate on a passive, like hate up 5 on a passive, but there's literally nothing else on that passive. Gumi literally shafted him and his kit because they did not put anything else on that passive, so he has to sacrifice an entire slot for hate, and he gets literally nothing out of it. Like for example, Dwayne, at least he could get move +1 and 5 hate, which is actually pretty significant. King Mont has it, and he has HP and defense up on that, so it's like, at least give Barret something on that, not like a complete empty passive that only just has the 5 hate that eats up an entire passive when his stats already are kind of suffering that he kind of needs from his passives. So that's why I don't really feel too great about it. Obviously hate on it is great, but if you're going to be using him as like a tank or something, why would you not just use like Dwayne, King Mont, Warrior Light, or something else that can just more reliably just have hate there and not take a penalty for it? It just, there's a lot of things I don't want, like, I'm not going to go too much into the negatives on him. This is just looking at his positives mostly overall. But yeah, there it is. Now, let's look at his high defense team. And what I mean by high defense is that because they all have like a good amount of defense, both Barret, not both, but all 3, Barret, King Mont, and even Ariana has a decent amount of defense. These vision card setups not only increase ice attack up for Barret and Aranea. I said Ariana for some reason, I believe, but Aranea, sorry. And yeah, Mont is just going to be here to tank, while Aranea and Barret are kind of like smashing the other team. And this is going to be mostly helping them deal damage and survive with high defense. You want to be hitting like high attack teams. You do not want to be fighting any magic attack based teams with this team comp. Now the Ice Baby team comp. From here, Barret will be using the Fenrir one, not only to give himself more damage, but also give his teammates the magic attack resistance. We do have the The Phrysis vision card because it does have the ice attack up, which is very strong for the entire team, and it's magic statted, so obviously Celia is going to be making good use of it. And we have Fryevia as the tank slash like kind of the aggroer, and we don't know what stats her vision card is going to have, but we do know what it looks like because I believe it was Tristan Silver Knight that won it with his art, which is great and it's amazing. But we don't know the stats on it yet, so that's why I put a question mark here for now. We're not sure what it's going to provide yet, and or if it's going to be good enough to use. So yeah, it's kind of up in the air, but Fryevia can use like a various amount of vision cards to help her survive, so it's not too big of a deal to get it to mono ice specifically. Now for Espers for Barret. I did think actually Golem is not bad for him, especially if you go with a defense-oriented build, because he can get a lot of defense with Golem and still be like getting a decent amount of damage out. From here to Phrysis, why did I forget how to say his name? But yeah, that Esper is actually very good too, because not only does it have Ice attack up, it also has Spirit up. And the Final Fantasy 15 Esper, I have no idea what it's called. It is a new mech though. This also has ice attack up and it has slash resistance, I believe. So yeah, that is something to consider. And the last Esper, if you don't have any good choices, is the Glacial Esper, mostly just for the ice attack up. Now obviously matchups and units to watch for is going to be King Mont, Summer Ketone. I will say Winter Macherie, not until her EX, but once she gets her EX, she will be a very strong fighting force against a Barret specifically. And then Rain, who also has very good matchup into him outside of if Barret uses a strike attack on him. Outside of that, Rain will do significant damage to him. Yeah, overall, I do believe Barret is unfortunately only going to be a 3 out of 5 unit. It's very sad, like, to what his kit is. I do wish Gumi kind of pushed a lot more onto him. But yeah, his guts removal, obviously, if you're thinking about it, you're like, oh, he's gonna be good into like ice, wind, right? He has no 100% hit abilities. His accuracy is mediocre compared to other units, and yeah, he's not gonna be hitting Zazan to get rid of the Immortal Spirit. He's not gonna be hitting Tifa if she's also evasion to like get rid of her like Immortal Spirit. So it's like, what exactly is he doing that other units cannot do better or more? So it's like, I don't really like his kit from what Gumi has given him. So yeah, overall, I have to say, if you want to see really like a lot of the negatives, you can see the video in the description box below for him. But yeah, overall, I do believe he's a 3 out of 5, unfortunately. And yeah, we basically come to the end of the video. If you like this quick, I don't even know if I could say quick, but just like a quick review of them, all before like Wednesday, just so it could kind of help you decide the poll. I hope it helps, and please leave a like and subscribe or comment. And yeah, until next video, peace out.